Jaylen Brown is averaging 30 and just scored 50 because he was able to learn the move that he uses best. Right? And so in this breakdown, I'm going to show you the importance of knowing the moves that you use best. Like how Jaylen Brown has found his signature move so that you could increase your scoring average in the season. Right? Like this. Right? So pay attention to Jaylen Brown. He scored 50 this game. And I'm going to take you through this one shot that he's about to shoot. You're going to see it right here. This is the shot. Pay attention, right? Pay attention. This is the shot I'm talking about. Gets to that middle, right there, that midi fade, right? You see how much lean he puts on that fade? It's crazy, right? It's tough too, because a lot of people don't even realize the basketball they use in the NBA, the ranges that they shoot with, how tall people are, how athletic people are. But this shot for Jaylen Brown is his bread and butter, that fade, whether it's going to that right side or even going to that left side. He does it both. He goes both sides very well. Right? So right here, this possession, Reed and Brook Lopez, he plugs that middle so he gets that fade over a smaller James Harden. Right? Notice he scored 50. That's 1 for 1 on that midi fade. He's 1 for 1. I want y'all to count with me. Right? We're not going to do too much of a breakdown, right, on these plays. I just want you to count the numbers. Right? He's 1 for 1 right now. Right? He's got James Harden again. Right? Notice empty corner. You see this empty corner right here? That's where he has space. So he attacks. He can't get the step. Bumps into that step back. Again, that midi fade, right? Boom, drop. That's 2 for 2 on that midi fade. Pay attention. I really want y'all to watch. 2 for 2, right? That's 4 points off that midi fade. Catch, right? Flare. He reads this corner man. Boom, he helps in. He plugs. Stop, spin, gets to that middle. Big right here, dives down. Midi fade again, going to that right, going over that left shoulder this time, right? Boom. 3 for 3. Continue to watch. I just want y'all to keep track with me, all right? Pay attention. I really need y'all to catch this, right? Going against Kata, right here, gets a switch against Derrick Jones. Gets right here. Boom, fade right there, gets hit on the hand. Foul. Free throws, 2 more, right? Boom, let's make that 4 for 4, right? Another 2 points. I believe he hit 2 free throws, right? But pay attention. Notice, right? Boom, rejects this action, stops on a dime, elbow, shot, bucket again. That's 5 for 5, right? 5 for 5. Notice even on this read, right? They're about to get into the Spain pick and roll. Watch, because you're going to have, notice down here, notice over here, right? Hauser right here, right? Who's going to come up over here and try to pop, right? And then you have Kata right here who's going to try to set this little flat screen over here at the top. So what Jaylen Brown's going to recognize in the situation is just this empty side as Hauser ends up leaving and going up this way, right? So he has room. He just doesn't even use the action. He goes and attacks. John Collins picks his side. He leads him to that right. And you know Jaylen Brown loves to go right. So boom, right? He stops right there, gets a space. Look at that fade. Look at the angle. Look at the elevation. Shot over the top, bucket, right? That's 5 for 5. Right here against Kawhi Leonard. Mind you, he's 5 for 5 right now against Kawhi, one of the best defenders, right? Stops, gets physical, fade again, misses, right? But understand, he's 5 for 6 right now, 10 points. Continue to pay attention, right? Continue to pay attention. He has 10 points off of this fade and he scored 50 in counting, right? Or he has 10 points in counting and scored 50. Right, notice, screen again here, gets into this middle, gets it right here in front of Zubac. Coming downhill, doesn't fade on it, nonetheless, mid-range right there, 6 for 7. 6 for 7 right there off the mid-range, right? Again, boom, Jaylen Brown, chase action, another screen right here against Derrick Jones Jr. He's working, right? But guess what happens? He finds his space, stays patient, fade. Look at the lean. That's crazy lean. Look at the, that's tough. And look at the elevation. That's tough as well. That's especially this late into the game, third quarter, 3 minutes left. Fade over the top, bucket, right? He knows his shots. This doesn't mean you should shoot it, but understand he knows his shots. And this is also going to prove another concept about how you need the mid-range if you want to take your scoring if you're already around 20 points a game to that next level. This is key, right? So pay attention. Jaylen Brown, mind you, what was he now? 7 for 8? Watch. He's 7 for 8 at this point, 14 points. Stop on a dime. Pay attention to that strong corner help, right? John Collins guarding Walsh. Walsh is a non-shooter on the scouting report. So guess what happens? He reads him, right? Done guarding, boom, dead dribble, stop, fade, bucket. He was 8 for 9 on that midi fade. That accumulates to a total of 16 points out of his 50 points coming off of that midi fade, right? Or 16 points out of his 50 coming off that midi fade. Right? And so if y'all want to be able to score in bunches like we just seen Jaylen Brown do through all these plays, through all these shots, right? You have to first understand the shots that you're most effective with, 1, and 2, understand If you're already in that 20-point range, that mid-range is going to take your game to that next level. Because you're not going to be so reliant upon getting easy layups at the rim or getting catch and shoot threes. They're going to force you to that in-between range, and that's going to be your only choice. And if you're a small guard, that's where you can even begin to get to that physical bump, that contact bump separation, right? If you're a taller player, you can just get to your spot like you see Jaylen Brown doing, just fade over the top if that's your shot, right? But it's a matter, the one thing I really want y'all to understand is that you have to know the shots that you do best. You have to know your shots, right? And so if Jaylen Brown, he knows that fade is one of his go-tos. So now he could go to a night in and night out, and even if he's off, he's still going to keep shooting because he knows how he's going to be able to catch his rhythm, and he knows that he's actually really good at that shot. It just may be an off night. And then there are going to be nights like this where it's going to balance back out, where he can now actually shoot and be able to get to 50. So if you want to be able to score, you have to know your game. You have to know what's going to be effective for you according to your play style, according to your physique, according to how you move. Don't just try to do something because you see somebody else do it. Be logical and wise and actually incorporate things into your game that make sense and align with how you move and your own feel for the game. So if you think you're trying to go, I should just score like KD, maybe you should actually go study Norman Powell. Maybe you should probably study somebody like Norman Powell. Or you're trying to be super fancy. You want to be SGA. Maybe you shouldn't study SGA. Maybe you should watch a Trae Young because you're a lot shorter. Maybe you should watch a Peyton Pritchard, right? You begin to actually watch people that make sense according to your game because, say, for example, you're a small guard. Everything SGA doesn't work for a small guard. Everything KD doesn't work for a typical 2 to 3, right? A typical wing. You have to begin to pick your moves wisely. And if you need help being able to incorporate that to your game, hit the link in the description, join the community, and I'll help you with that, right? And you'll be able to 3 to 4 extra scoring average. There's testimonies of it. So if you want to take a game to the next level, join the community. But nonetheless, make sure you stay tuned because I got more breakdowns from this game coming up. So discipline or regret, you choose.